Hello everybody and welcome to Magical Mondays. My name is Sheila and I'm from Inner Balance Sacred Space, and welcome to my channel. So today we are going to do some practices on the third eye chakra. There is a tiny little bit of yoga physical practice involved. If you've been following this series on the chakras, you will know that it's not all about yogic practices. There are several other mixture of practices that we can do. But today it is mainly a yogic practice, or lots of different practices taken from yoga. So the third eye chakra. So there's two ways, well, not two ways, I think there's quite a few ways this can be said depending on what area you come from. In India, I'm going to give you two ways. It's Ajna or Agnya, and I'm going to probably stick with Ajna, and that means to command or to perceive. So it is the center of intuition and intellect, and it plays a huge part in meditation and awareness. So really quite perceivable because of where it is positioned in the body. So it's going to be, today we're going to look at the awareness of the third eye, where it's located exactly. We're going to be chanting Om and going to do some Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, Shanmukhi Mudra, and then a small yoga practice. As you get higher up in the chakras, the amount of yogic postures there are becomes fairly minimal, and the usual amount of postures that we do usually concentrates in this sort of area. And a lot of the yogic postures are inversions, but we are going to be doing some really simple inversions. So even like downward facing dog, wide leg, forward fold are simple inversions. So don't worry, we're not going to be doing some fantastic standing on our forearms or anything like that. It's all going to be relatively simple. So let's start with the awareness of the third eye chakra. So it is located in between the eyebrows, but it's not here at the surface of the forehead. It is deep in towards the brain. So at the top of the spinal cord, near the pineal gland. So if you think about where your spine comes up through your back and then through your neck, and your spine is quite a large body of bones, because encased in those bones is your spinal cord. So your spine actually, your spine protects your spinal cord, where all your nerves run down from your brain all the way down to the lower spine. So if you think about, yes, where your bones in your neck come up into the back of your head, right up here, then you are thinking that your third eye chakra is in here but located at this position. So a good probably inch and a half, maybe even 2 inches inside of your brain, in between the eyebrow center. So what we're going to do first is, because this chakra is really connected to stillness, so remember we've travelled through the earth planes, through the heart chakra, which is a bridge between the lower elementals, the earthly elementals, and now we're coming up through the spiritual elements. So we had the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown will be the last one in the physical body. So this is more getting in to the realms of stillness, the realms of meditation, of stillness. So we're going to close our eyes and just try and draw our attention to this area for maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes. So try to keep your mind from wandering, and if it does wander off, then just bring your awareness back as soon as you have noticed that it's gone off wandering. So we're just bringing that awareness where this chakra is in our brain. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, spinal column nice and straight. Close your eyes. Let your breath settle. And just bring your awareness to that point in your head for your third eye, the Ajna Chakra. Okay, take a slow, deep breath in and slowly exhale. for the second part of Third Eye Chakra practice, we're going to be chanting Om. So the way I like to teach this to my students is that there are 3 parts to the chant of Om. There's an R sound, there's an O sound, and then there's a long M sound where you can hear the humming at the end. So we are going to do this 6 times. And don't worry if you're not a singer, it's not about singing whatsoever. It's just about using your voice. Sometimes my voice does go a little bit croaky, and I don't really worry about it. I just carry on. But we usually practice Om 3 times in the class, at the beginning and 1 at the end. Today we're going to do it 6 times. You can even listen to it and do it in your head, and when you feel confident enough, you can join in. And I can hear my voice going a bit croaky already. So let's hope it holds up to this, because like I said, I don't do edits on my videos. What you see is what you get. So if I make any silly mistakes, so be it. So let's try and do the chant of Om. So we're going to come into this seat of stillness again. We're going to do a few deep belly breaths. And then I will say take a deep breath in and we'll do the Om. Okay? So close your eyes. Connect to your breath and start to breathe deep into the belly. And slowly breathe out, so you're slowing your breath. Okay, deep breath in. Breathe in deeply. Slowly exhale. So our next practice that we are going to do is Nadi Shodhana. So before we carry on, I'd just like to say that this is the sixth chakra in the physical body. So we have root, sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, and now we're on the third eye. And as I said earlier on, the heart is the bridging, and the lower three chakras are connected to the earthly elements. And then when you get up to the six high ones, we have this one in our throat that's connected to ether, and the third eye chakra is connected to the natural element of light. So it serves the mind and the pineal gland, and it's linked to intuition and like gut feeling, imagination and visualization, and that higher level of consciousness. So we're getting into these spiritual realms of stillness. And as you can see, the first two practices that we've done are very much connected to stillness and meditation. So the Ajna Chakra is symbolized by a two-petaled lotus, and this color of this chakra is iridescent. It's like silvery, a light grey, indigo-ish in colour, so very iridescent and light forming. And it is at this point in your third eye that the Ida and the Pingala merge with the Sushumna channel. So when we started this Magical Mondays, what we're trying to do is awaken Kundalini, so the serpent that lies in the root chakra. So you have this Sushumna channel going all the way up, so you can imagine it's like a hollow tube, very much like your spine, where your spinal column goes through, but it's not the spinal column, it is in front of the spinal column. And then crisscrossing over from the root chakra and going through all the other chakras are these two other little wavy lines that come up and then meet into your third eye. And one of them is like a female energy, and the other is a male energy. So these two petals that are here in your third eye chakra are thought to represent Shiva and Shakti. So we have the masculine and the feminine, the sun and the moon. And when we do our next practice, which is Nadi Shodhana, a breathing practice, this is where we are trying to balance the female and male energy. So we all have this female and male energy, whether you are female or male, it doesn't really matter. So they meet at the third eye, and this practice, Nadi Shodhana, is a third eye practice. So because it requires you to do some concentration in what you're doing, it is also not just a pranayama, a breath practice. It is a practice of meditation, because you are focusing on what you are doing because you have to. otherwise you'll just lose it. So we're going to be breathing and alternating the nostrils that we breathe in and out of. So the left nostril is connected to the feminine side, female, the receptive side, the moon, feminine energy. The right nostril is connected to the masculine side, so male, the sun, heated and active energy. And by doing Nadi Shodhana, we are trying to balance those energies up into the third eye where they cross over. So again, coming into stillness. We're going to do this. You can actually, I'm going to show you two ways to do it. The easy way to do it is to hold your thumb and index finger up and gently press on your nostrils so you're closing them. Or you can do it a slightly different way where you're bringing more of attention to your third eye, so you can have your index and your middle finger, and you use your thumb and your ring finger to do the closing. So your index and middle finger go in between your eyebrows, in the middle of your forehead, just up from there, so make sure you're in a comfortable position. And then your thumb and your ring finger can move from side to side to do the breath work. So you choose what is easier for you to do. Okay, I will talk you through the practice for several rounds, and then again we will just do it for another couple of minutes. So get yourself into position. Take a slow deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Just a few more times, breathing in slowly and out. Breathe in. Breathe out. You're going to close your right nostril. Breathe in through your left. Close your left, and you're going to breathe out through your right. You're going to breathe in through your right. Close a nostril. Breathe out through your left. Breathe in left. Close a nostril, breathe out right. Breathe in. Close, breathe out left. Breathe in. Close, breathe out right. Breathe in, close, breathe out. Breathe in, close, breathe out. Breathe in, close, breathe out. I'm going to breathe in, close, and carry on your own, in your own time. next breathe out through your left nostril, you're going to drop your hand and then breathe in and out nice and slow and deep through both nostrils. And if you've got your eyes closed, you can open them. So you might have noticed that there might be a little bit of resistance in one nostril. One nostril was a little bit more dominant than the other, so easier to breathe through. And this is quite a common thing. If you do the same practice, maybe in about 2 hours' time, you might find that the more dominant nostril has now become the less dominant nostril. And this has been scientifically proved that our nostrils are constantly changing and having a dominant side, and it's about every it's about every hour and a half that this actually happens. Sorry. So, and you also might want to blow your nose afterwards or even before the practice, and probably not a good idea to practice this when you have a cold or any blockage that's there. So the next practice we're going to do is Shanmukhi Mudra. And this is the closing of the 7 gates. So in yoga, when we come up into the higher chakras, which is the spiritual meditation, stillness realms, when we meditate, we try and focus on something. So it could be the belly going in and out, the cool air going through the nostrils, or watching a candle. We try and give ourselves something to concentrate on so we stop the mind from wandering. And what we're trying to eventually do is to close down those senses. So this mudra stimulates the Ajna Chakra, and it allows us to turn inwards. And what we're going to do is use our fingers to close the openings of the face. So the eyes, what we see with, the ears, what we hear with, the nose that we smell with, and the mouth for speech. So when we close these things down, we are not we're not drawn to what we can hear outside the house while we're trying to meditate. So that's what I mean by we're trying to close down these senses. When we close down the nostrils, I don't want you to press on your nostrils really tightly. The same with your eyes. You're not going to press on your eyeballs. Otherwise, when you open your eyes, you're going to hurt yourself. So once we get into this mudra, we are going to inhale through our partially closed nostrils as much as we can, and then we're going to hold the breath for as long as we can, and then we're going to slowly exhale. Okay, so again, you can see that this mudra is not just about a hand position, it's about breathing, it's about stillness and meditation again. So So you're going to use your fingers and your thumbs. Okay, so your thumbs are going to gently press on your ears. Your index fingers are going to just gently, I'm just going to put mine just gently where my eyelids meet, so it keeps my eyes closed. Then my middle fingers are going to go on my nostrils, the ring fingers above my lips, and the little fingers up below my lips. So we're keeping all those parts of our face that are open, we are keeping them closed. So you're going to breathe in through the partially closed nostrils. Hold the breath. For as long as you can without passing out, please. And slowly breathe out through your nose. And again, breathing in. Hold. And out. You're going to do this another 6 times, so I'm not talking through it. When you finish the 6 on your own, just drop your hands into your lap. Breathe in and out through your nostrils. And I just want you to observe how you feel after we've done the chanting of the Om, the Nadi Shodhana and the Mudra. How does your breathing feel? How does your mind feel? So you can open your eyes And now we're going to do a very short physical yoga practice. Again, I've kept this very simple, and as I've said before, there is usually no chakra that works alone when it comes to yoga postures. So I'm going to be doing a few inversions. And inversions are good for third eye work, for opening the third eye chakra, or for balancing it, which is what we are trying to do. So the first posture we're going to do is child's posture. And with this posture, you want to be bringing your awareness to the middle of your forehead, your third eye. And I do want to say something about the this posture. First of all, child's posture, because it can be difficult for some people. So if you find it difficult to breathe because your belly and your chest are over on your thighs, what I would recommend that you do is just have a slight gap in between your knees. So you're not doing wide leg child's pose, just a small gap. And then when you come down, you should feel a little bit more comfortable. Also, people with knee problems may find this difficult, so what you want to do is get yourself a nice big rolled up blanket and pop it in between your back of your thighs and your calf muscles, or if you've got a foam block like this, you can sit on a foam block, and that may take some pressure off of your knees. And the third thing is that if your aim is to get your forehead down to the floor, some of you may be quite tight in the hips or the lower back, and you may find that your child's pose looks more like this, with your bum up in the air. So really what we want to do is get our sit bones to sink down to our heels. And if you do that, then you might find that your forehead comes up off the floor. So the best way to deal with that is to get yourself a block or a couple of books. And remember, we do want to bring our awareness to our third eye for this little practice. So you can bring your forehead down onto a block. So hopefully all those little adjustments, you may be able to do one of them or a couple of them, and that's what we're going to start with. So come into child's pose and make sure that your forehead is resting either on a block, doesn't matter what height you have it, as long as you can feel it, making contact with your block or making contact with the floor. We're going to take a nice few deep breaths in and out while we just stay here for about 20-30 seconds or so. Bring in your awareness to that third eye, where it is situated in your body. In towards the brain, in towards the pineal gland. On your next breath in, gently coming up, we're going to come into our first inversion, which is downward facing dogs. Put your hands onto the floor, tuck your toes under. And you're going to keep this nice and gentle. So with your legs bent, your arms straight, your back long. Just gently, perhaps just looking at the floor slightly with your internal gaze upwards towards your third eye. I'm going to use this as a bit of a warm up, so you're going to just gently paddle through your feet. Bending into one leg, working the feet. Working the backs of the legs. Just make sure your neck is relaxed. And then you can straighten your legs a little bit more and just come onto the balls of your feet, stretch, come forwards a little bit. Bring them down towards the floor. Remember, they do not need to touch to be a true downward facing dog. Every posture is unique to you. Stretch out those legs a little bit more. Engage your tummy muscles. And then you're going to just gently walk towards the front of your mat. Have your feet hip distance apart. And you're going to come into another inversion, which is Uttanasana, forward fold. Again, bring in your awareness to the third eye. Relaxing your head and your neck. Crown of the head and third eye down towards the floor. So you may just want to bring your feet a little bit closer towards each other, because in a moment we're going to come up into chair pose. So inhale, exhale, forward fold, try and lengthen. Inhale, bend into your knees. Bring your palms together, slowly rise, have your knees bent. Come right up into chair pose. Look at your hands, look at your thumbs. Gaze looking up towards your third eye and towards your thumbs, towards the middle of your forehead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Hands together, looking at the thumbs, gaze up towards your third eye. Exhale, forward fold. You're going to turn to the side. So you're going to take your left leg out to the back of your mat. Turn to the side. Parallel your feet. So you're in wide leg forward fold. Use blocks under your hands if you want to. And then slowly on your next exhale, all the way down towards the floor. You can close your eyes here if you want to.
And just bring that awareness back to your third eye. You may find yourself naturally doing this because you are in an inverted position. You're going to walk your hands towards your right foot, spin yourself around so you're into a low lunge, and then step forwards, back in to your forward fold with your feet hip distance apart and lengthen towards the floor. We're going to do that whole little sequence again, bringing your awareness to your third eye. Bring your feet and knees closer together, touching. I just find it's easier for you to control your chair pose. So exhale. Inhale, bend into your knees, palms together, look up. Oops, looked up a little bit too much. And next exhale, fold down. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step your right leg back. Turn to the side. Wide leg forward, fold. A few breaths here. The next inhale, walk your hands towards your left foot, spin yourself around to the front of your mat. So you're in a low lunge, and then step forwards, back into your forward fold. From here, you're going to step back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, bring your leg up behind you, pull it into your chest, step forwards, bring your back foot to the floor, turn it out a little, push through your feet, keep your legs nice and strong and stable. We're going to do the same thing again, palms together. We're in warrior one, looking up towards your thumbs. So you bring your awareness to your third eye. And then exhale, hands down. Clasp your hands behind you. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, fold forwards into humble warrior. Bring your arms over your head. Forehead down towards the floor. Inhale, coming up, palms together. Exhale, release. Step back into downward facing dog. Next inhale, left leg into the air, into your chest, stepping forwards. Finding warrior one, so your front foot is facing forwards, your back foot is slightly turned out, hips facing forwards, palms together as you come up, looking at your thumbs, try and keep your balance.
Exhale, arms down, clasp your hands behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and exhale, humble warrior. Third eye to the floor. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the top of your mat and slowly lower yourself down. So next two postures is bridge pose, and then from bridge pose we're going to go into plough. I'm going to do a simple version of plough where you bring your knees towards your forehead, and then if you want to, you can stretch into plough pose. So lower down, bring your feet towards your sit bones a little bit more, hands down to the floor. Going to inhale. As you exhale, push your lumbar spine into the floor and slowly roll up through your spine. Push through your feet. Just close your eyes. Chin towards your chest. Keep breathing. And on your next exhale, slowly roll back through your spine. Inhale, let your spine settle into neutral. I'm going to do that again. Exhale, push the spine into the floor so your pelvis starts tilting up. Push through your feet, push through your arms, lift yourself up. Awareness at the throat chakra, at the third eye chakra, as your chin is towards your chest. And on your next exhale, slowly coming through, pelvis settles on the floor, becomes neutral. Just going to move myself down the mat a little, so always be aware of the space that you're in, for you to enable yourself to do your postures. So, hands down onto the floor, bring your knees into your chest. Do a few little rocking movements and roll yourself up. Pop your hands behind your pelvis. Just see how it feels to be in this position. So forehead and knees coming towards each other. They do not have to meet. I just need to lower because it's a little bit difficult to talk at the same time. So forehead and knees close together, so you're bringing that awareness to your forehead. So this is a pre-pose before going into plough pose if you want to do it. So plough pose again is an inversion. The head is lower than the heart, and all the awareness is up in the upper three chakras, basically. The
And make sure you're well supported in your spine. And then if you want to, you can bring your feet over your head and come into plough pose. When you come out of plough pose, have your hands on the floor. Slowly roll through your spine. Gently lift your chin up a little bit. And make sure you are well grounded. Don't just flop down. Make sure you do it in a controlled manner. So you can stay in plough pose for 30 seconds, a minute. If you're comfortable with that, like I say, it's a little bit hard to try and breathe and talk at the same time whilst being in plough pose. So we can do it again without me talking. So roll yourself up. And bring your legs down so you're back into the original position for starting bridge pose. So our last posture, usually I finish with a tiny little relaxation, but our last posture is an inversion. It's a posture that is really, really beneficial for you. And again, your legs are higher than your head and your heart. It is classed as an inversion, and it's legs up the wall. So this posture is a constructive rest posture, and it is extremely good for balancing the third eye. So today, instead of doing a relaxation, we're going to go into legs up the wall. Now, if you haven't got wall space, you can easily do this with legs up on the chair. So your calf muscles are resting on the seat of a chair. Okay, and that is perfectly fine. If you're going to do legs up the wall, you're going to get yourself close to the wall as much as you can with your hip upright, right up against the wall. You're then going to spin yourself around. And really don't worry if there's a bit of a gap of about an inch or so. That doesn't really matter as long as you're fairly close to the wall. And then what you want to do is rest your legs up against the wall, but I find it best to have them slightly bent. So don't have them dead straight where you're pushing through the backs of your knees, because if you're here for 4 or 5 minutes like we are going to do, you are going to end up with achy back knees where you're literally hyperextending the backs of your legs. So soften your knees, have a little bend in your knees, relax your ankles, relax your feet. Some people do find this a little bit hard on their necks. So what would be beneficial is to grab a little blanket, or again a little foam block, and you can have that underneath your head. Particularly if you've got the type of posture where your chin tends to stick up into the air. So give yourself a little bit of support with a little cushion or something behind your head, but only if you need it. Take your arms out to the side, away from your body, palms up. Close your eyes. Take a breath in. Slowly exhale. Breathe in deep. Let go. Let your breath return to a normal passive rate. Let it be natural. We're just going to quickly scan the body. Let the breath settle as you do this. So make sure your toes are relaxed and your feet are relaxed. Your ankles are relaxed and soft. That your knees are soft, the kneecaps, that your legs are slightly bent. It takes no effort at all to keep your legs up against the wall, with just the back of your heels supporting you. Just let your legs become heavy. Let your thighs relax. Let the hips become relaxed. Just let the legs rest in hip sockets. Relax your belly. Just feel the breath flowing in and out. Feeling the expansion of the chest and the belly, and a contraction. Just letting the body sink into the earth. Feel the whole of the back making a connection to the earth. From the tailbone into the middle of the back, the upper back, the backs of the shoulders, the back of the head just gently rested on the floor. Just let go. Feel the backs of the arms on the floor. Your hands are relaxed and your fingers gently curl. No effort. Just bring your awareness to the cool air coming through your nose. And the slightly warm air as it flows back out. And then keep your awareness at the third eye. Third eye and the nostrils as you breathe and relax. becoming heavy. Let go. Very gently, just bring yourself back. Feel your body making contact with the earth, with the wall. Slowly start to move your fingers, move your feet. Bring your knees into your chest, give your knees a hug. Just be aware of your space. Roll to your right if you can, but if not, roll to your left. And just very, very gently and slowly come up. So I do hope you've enjoyed that practice on the third eye. And I hope you feel a little bit relaxed and a little bit serene and calm and peaceful. So if you have liked that practice, please subscribe to my channel, In a Balanced Sacred Space, especially if you like what I do. And also I do run a private Facebook group. I post about maybe three times a week on there. I expand on the Magical Monday recording a little bit more,
And we also do a bi-weekly challenge as well. So if you're up for that, that would be great. But for now, I would like to say namaste to you all, and enjoy the rest of your day or whatever you're doing. So thank you very much.